Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Turn Left. I am your host, Indiana's own Dana Black. We are back for another exciting episode. At least I think it's going to be exciting. It's been an eventful last couple of weeks over at the federal level with the folks fighting over the health care. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. As you guys know, I've been talking over the last several weeks about the reorgs that have been going on, the one that happened in Marion County, and then the reorganization, Democrat Party reorganization that's happened at the congressional levels, at the the district levels. But we also had a state level reorganization, and I want to send a shout out and congratulations to John Zody, who has been elected again for a second term to be the state party chair. He seems like he has some good ideas and some things that he wants to work on, and I have to tell you, I have to try to contain my excitement sometimes because I get a little excited. As I was running for office, I learned quite a few things along the way, and one of the things that I learned was some more stuff about me. And I knew that I wanted to be a part of the Indiana State Democrat Party. And the same weekend that John Zody was reelected as the state party chair, he appointed me as the deputy chair for engagement. I cannot tell you guys how incredibly excited I am about this. Let me just give you a little bit about what this role will mean and what I'll be doing for the state party. There's a lot since the election. There's been a lot of excitement. People are not really happy with what happened in November, and there's a lot of groups that have come about, and there are a lot of organizations that have been getting involved with people. A lot of people saying, what do I do? What do I do? Well, my role will be to reach out to these organizations and see if they want to work with the state party. The other part of my role is, in order for us to make changes in our state, we have to elect people who speak for us. And so a part of what I will be doing as a deputy chair of engagement for the Indiana Democrat Party is that I'll be out recruiting people to run for office. We're going to take the cloak off. We're going to take off the mystery of what it is to run for office in the state of Indiana. And we're also going to supply them with as much help as we can. We're going to supply them with guidance and training and things like that. But besides working to get candidates, we're also going to try to work to get some volunteers. I had a good group of people that helped me out, but they all had their own lives, and they gave me everything that they could, and I really appreciated everything that they gave me. But I tell you, if you could just get one person to stay with you for the entire time to help knock on doors and help make phone calls, to help keep your campaign organized, that makes all the difference in the world. So we're also going to be so you're not maybe the kind of person that wants to be out front and run for office, but you would love to work on campaigns and would love to be the right hand for somebody that is working on a campaign. Then we're also going to be recruiting those folks as well. And this is going to be a 92 county effort. This is not going to be just about, Democrats are going to move away from just, looking at urban areas and Marion County and Lake County and Monroe County. We're going to look at all 92 states. We're going to look at rural counties. We're going to look to recruit young people. We need young people. We need your energy. I need your energy. And we're also just going to do everything we can to get every person that believes in the Democrat Party and the Democratic process to join our team, help us out. Because really, 2018 is not that far away, right? We need to have candidates that are ready to rock and roll. And we want to get out there and find those candidates and see if they are interested in running for office. I'm excited about this role. I get to run down the state and tell the wonderful story of how wonderful it'll be to work for the state party, because we've got some exciting things that we're working on. I have a couple announcements besides that I want to share. I want to make sure that this show isn't just, me talking all the time, because eventually y'all going to get tired of hearing my voice. I have secured 2 incredible interviews that I am super excited about. Next week, right here with me on Turn Left, I will have the Marion County the Marion County Democrat chair Kate Sweeney Bell sitting in here telling us, right, what her plans are, what her goals are, and how she plans to move Marion County forward. I am super excited about that. I can't wait to hear what her vision is. Kate Sweeney Bell, if you don't already know, she's the Marion County reporter. She's an elected official. Marion County does really well with electing women, and she is one of them. She's dynamic. She's a firecracker, actually. And I have a quick story to tell before, so that you guys know what kind of woman she is. When I first met her, when I first started running for office, I was like, I gotta clean up my mouth, because every now and then I can drop an F-bomb, or I can say something that's not appropriate at the wrong time. And I met Kate Sweeney Bell, and she was just her genuine self when I first met her. And I was like, if she can run for office and win, I know I can run for office, because she is genuine. She's not gonna pull any punches. She is straight up. You're gonna love meeting her if you're not familiar with who she is. I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. I can't wait for you guys to hear what her plans are for Marion County. So that's the first guest that I've got lined up. I'm really, really excited about that. The second guest, I got a second one that's exciting as well. Mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. April 20th, we will have on our show, Turn Left, the state party chair, John Zody. Yes, I had a conversation with him. He said he would be more than happy to come on the show. Again, we're talking about reorganization and moving the state party forward and moving the county party forward. John Zody's going to come and share his vision over the next 4 years. I am so excited that he agreed to come and talk to Dana Black and our audience and come on Turn Left, because this is all about Democrats. It's all about the progressive way of looking at things. I think you're going to be really happy with what he has and vision he has for our state party. I am super excited about that. Next week, she's the Marion County Party Chair, Democrat Party Chair, and on April 20th, John Zody. Yes, John Zody, State Party Chair, will be on Turn Left. Got a couple other announcements I want to share with you. If you're still looking for an organization to get involved with, the Indiana Federation of Democrat Women are having their spring meeting this Saturday, April 1st, up in Anderson. If it's at the Union Hall on 29th and Madison. I will make sure that I post that information on my Facebook page. I will also share their Facebook announcement. But if you're interested and you want to get involved, come check out these dynamic women who are, working diligently and helping candidates raise money and all kinds of neat and exciting things. Come and meet these ladies. Come and join the organization. Come find out what the Indiana Federation of Democrat Women are all about. Like I said, they meet this Saturday, 8 o'clock, I think is the start time. Yes, it's early. We want you to be able to get out and enjoy the rest of your day. But they're going to go through their spring meeting. And if you've not, I'm telling you, the women that you're going to meet at this Indiana Federation of Democrat Women, you're going to want to know how come we're only 20% of elected officials, because these women are fantastic. Also, if you're not interested in going to the driving up to Anderson, if you want to come down to the State House, there's going to be a march for health to save the Affordable Care Act. That should be a rousing time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make both events because I'll be up in Anderson. But I would love for you guys, if you're not interested in driving up to Anderson, to come down and support the March for Health to save the Affordable Care Act. That'll also be Saturday, April 1st. So, Democrats are doing things. Don't think that we are sitting around still licking our wounds. We're moving forward. We know we have a lot of work to do, so we're on our way to doing it. And these are a couple of ways that you can get yourself involved. I see you, baby. Hi, niece. Okay, so what's been going on? Well, there's one Senate bill in our state house that has me up in an uproar right now. It's messing with me emotionally. I try not to get too emotional, but this one's bothering me because this bill has absolutely nothing to do with improving the lives of Hoosiers, but it seems to be moving through our legislative process. And this is SB 309. And if you're not familiar with what SB 309 is, it is the solar panel net metering bill. And basically what this bill is doing is changing the rate that a family that puts solar panels on their home, if they have any excess energy, they can sell it back to the grid. And right now they're able to sell that back to the grid at a retail rate. And then when they're short on electricity, they can buy back from the grid at retail rate. Well, this particular bill that Senator Hirschman, I believe his name is, he wrote this bill to say, well, no. When you sell your energy back to the grid, you shouldn't actually receive, retail rate. You should sell it back to them at a discounted rate. And then when you need energy and you got to buy it back from the grid, you should pay full retail price. Now, see, I don't understand how this type of thinking helps Hoosier families. I don't see how this type of thinking actually helps our environment. I mean, we should be moving toward encouraging more people to use renewable energy, be it solar, wind, or bio. But this bill de-incentivizes citizens from looking into renewable energy. And see, to me, that's backwards, right? What we're doing is creating an environment that says we're not renewable energy friendly as a state. And we already know I learned just this week that there are actually more jobs in renewable energy than there are in some of the coal industries. We know coal is not coming back, even though the orange one decided to rescind a lot of Barack Obama's signed executive orders to get us back into coal. I'm sorry. I like my turbo engine, but I much rather have horse and buggy. Does that make any sense to us people? Come on now. We want to move forward. And this bill is already passed out of the Senate. It was in the Utilities Committee at the House yesterday. They listed testimony. And again, the argument that they're making is that, we're subsidizing people who have solar panels and we're penalizing people who don't. Well, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. The data doesn't show that. In fact, when you return energy back to the grid, you're actually helping the grid. And when you're not using that energy from the grid, you're giving the grid a little relief, right? You're not pulling so much energy off of it. So these guys, just let me give you a little bit of information, right? In Indiana, we have 1,000 homes, churches, and older people. So think about that. Churches and not-for-profit organizations who, depend heavily on donations and things like that, not-for-profit organizations, this is a way for them to cut their energy bill costs by selling energy back to the grid. Well, there's unstated claims that subsidized rooftop solar owners. This is not true. The Indiana Regulatory Commission should be the one setting standards for utilities and energy, not legislators. So, what does that mean? A couple of guys who wear nice suits and were elected to office, who may not necessarily understand how energy works, have decided to figure out what the formula is going to be to how compensate people. Now, I'm not going to read the bill because if you see the bill, it's like this long, convoluted, with a lot of mumbo jumbo in it. But basically, what these guys are going to say, we'll just pick a number, and they said 1.25. This is what you're going to get. Now, I'm going to answer that question. I've got to tell you, the senator that actually introduced this bill received over $2,000 in campaign contributions from the American Electrical Co-op, something that look them up. And he received over $20,000. So $20,000 will buy you legislation in the state of Indiana. Just want you to know that, because this bill is not about helping Hoosier families. It's not about improving the lives, improving our environment. It's just the exact. So you got $20,000. You can go ahead and donate to this particular senator, and he'll go ahead and do your bidding for you. If we want to improve our air quality and if we want to improve our water quality, we need low carbon energy sources. And that's what solar panels do and solar energy does. And the cost of those panels are starting to come down. The cost of actually, yes, there's a high upfront cost to get those solar panels on your home. But over the life of ownership, it pays for itself with the net metering program. 43 states have adopted net metering. Kentucky is anti-net metering. They had one. It was actually killed. So, Kentucky is moving forward. Indiana staying put. And solar creates 200,000 jobs in the U.S. And a lot of this, what this bill will do is push solar energy companies out of business, right? It'll shut them down because what's the incentive? Well, I'll just keep going to the grid, because the other part about it is they set it up so that there are some amendments to the bill, and if you have your solar panels in before June of 2017, so if you're thinking about doing it, do it in the next couple of months, you're going to be grandfathered in through the duration. But if you get it afterwards, then your net metering cuts off at like 2047 or something like that. But the whole goal is to end net metering. And then also, 309 gives control over solar power to the utility monopoly. It only benefits utility companies, because now they're going to pay you less for extra energy and charge you more when you need the energy. See, again, $20,000 from the energy companies will get you a bill written in the Senate, out of the Senate, and into the House. 20 grand. I gotta mention that this particular senator also received $15,000 from Comcast. I'm just gonna say, Dish Network owners, you better beware. You better beware, because what is gonna happen with the $15K that he got from Comcast? Is gonna write a bill that says, oh, by the way, you can't have dishes on your house anymore. We don't know. Money talks. So SB 9 is pretty scary. It looks like it's gonna pass. Yeah, Angie, that's kind of cheap for a bill that's gonna make them millions. It's not like these guys are hurting. It's not even gonna cut into. It's only gonna cut into their profit. It's not really gonna hurt them. It's just really just. This one gets my goat because, again, and I'm gonna say it one more time. This bill, as written, does not help Hoosier families. This particular senator is looking out for the utility companies instead of the neighbors and the people and the constituents in his neighborhood who voted for him. Does he not realize that there are also Republicans that have solar panels on their roof? I guess it didn't matter. They didn't give him 20 grand. I need 20 grand. I'll write a bill for you. All right. Something else has been going on in the State House. Republicans are always trying to control a woman's body. They always saying they want small government, less regulation. They just want a small enough fit inside your uterus. That's the case. But good news from Senator Long. I have to give Senator Long a hand. The bill that Brian Bosma and his boys passed out of the House about the abortion reversal pill. I know you guys heard about that, right? Where there was testimony, and this lady got up and she said, "Hey, I've had 300 successful cases of me giving this abortion reversal pill, and it worked." But there was no scientific evidence to back it up. There were doctor after doctor saying, "No." Well, first of all, that should be malpractice, right? Hailing outside, y'all. Man, it's April in Indiana. It's hailing. No, it's not. And my truck is sitting outside too. Oh man. It's okay. It's black. Maybe it just look like a black golf ball. Hopefully, it won't be too much damage. But anyway, this particular bill died in the Senate. Even though it came out of the House and went over to the Senate. Thank you, Brian Bosma, for passing dumb bills. I appreciate that. I appreciate you calling that to the House, to a committee. Brian Bosma, Speaker of the House, calling this bill to a committee and voting on it on the floor. Senator Long, I thank you. I thank you tremendously for not calling that bill to a Senate committee. You said you're not going to do anything with it. It's dead. We don't have to worry about that. There's just a lot of stuff. We have to be diligent. I'm excited about the rally that's coming up on Saturday, and I know that there's another Planned Parenthood rally that is scheduled to take place in a few weeks. But after we rally and after we get motivated and feel that energy, we got to elect people who are going to speak for us. That means we got to make some phone calls. We got to do some data entry. We got to run good candidates. You know, people got to have a passion to run. We got to get trained to get out here and say, hey, I want to represent Hoosiers the right way. Because if not, we will continue to have people who are passing legislation about, abortion reversal pills. I'm still trying to figure out how come you can have an abortion reversal pill. How come you can't have an obesity reversal pill? I've been waiting for the obesity reversal pill for a long time. They are able to cure a whole lot of things, but they cannot cure this obesity thing. That's all right. It's all right. They're going to keep on passing legislation that hurts. That's all. So, your boy Mike Pence, he's at it again. Oh my goodness. He's up in Washington breaking ties. Want to, overturn. Trump is basically trying to do everything he can to erase Barack Obama. He's really been pissed off at the jokes that Barack Obama said about him. He's taking this really personal. But does he realize that he cannot actually erase him from history? No matter how hard he tries, he cannot erase Barack Obama from history. He will always be known as the first African-American president of the United States of America. He can never, and you know what? I don't even know why Trump is tripping, because he'll be the first orange American as president of the United States of America. Orange. So why is he tripping? He has his own color. But they're doing everything they can to strip away all of the executive orders. And so Mike Pence, you know how he is. He loves, again, he's another guy that likes, limited government, small enough to fit inside your body. The Senate Republicans on Thursday needed Mike Pence to break a tie on legislative reversal of administration rule protecting funds for Planned Parenthood and other planning providers. The Obama administration finalized the rule just a few weeks before President Trump was inaugurated. It would bar states from denying federal family planning funds to organizations like Planned Parenthood. Well, Republicans on the Senate side, we're going to get rid of that. Even though everybody who can read, that knows their alphabet, knows that Planned Parenthood, all services that they provide, only 3% are abortion, and no federal dollars can go to abortion. They try to sidestep that. They try to pretend like that's not true. But what you have is a bunch of guys, a bunch of men, because women only make up 20%, a bunch of men deciding that women's health care is not worth fighting for. But you know what? I have to say, after the vote, Washington Senator Patty Murray said, and Republicans didn't listen to women across the country who made it clear that restricting women's access to full range of reproductive care is unacceptable. They're not listening to us. Women, they are not listening to us. There was a picture. Did you guys see the picture when, we're gonna spend the rest of our time talking about the crash and burn of trying to repeal Obamacare. Oh, I'm sorry, the Affordable Care. We're gonna talk about that for a little while. But there was a picture of Mike Pence reaching out to the Freedom Caucus. And that picture had nothing but a bunch of older white gentlemen discussing whether or not mammograms should cover. Really? You don't have a woman anywhere in that setting discussing mammograms and the importance of them? That's astonishing to me. 20% women. We only make up 20% of our elected officials. We have to fix that. That's one of my big goals. Big goals for this year. So listen, the healthcare fiasco, I giggled on the inside. I had a little joy in my heart because I watched Republicans implode on themselves. Now, don't listen to the orange one, because he'll tell you that Democrats are the reason why the healthcare bill failed. But you cannot blame me for not coming to your party if you didn't actually send me an invitation. They did not send an invitation to the Democrats to talk about this healthcare bill. In fact, today, Speaker Ryan says he doesn't even want to work with Democrats. He has no desire to work with Democrats on a health care bill because he believes that health care should be in the free market, blah, 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 blah. But the bill that they wrote, it cut benefits for poor Americans and gave a huge, huge tax break to our wealthy Americans. And listen, I don't know about you, but that seems kind of backwards. But the killer part is that wasn't even enough for the Freedom Caucus. They wanted to repeal the whole thing and kick 20 million Americans off their insurance plans. This is what the Republican agenda is. Their desire to stack dollars at your expense. Healthcare for those that can afford it. I mean, I already know on the left that we're the only industrialized nation in the world that did not have universal health care. They were trying to cut Medicare. They had nothing for prescription drugs. Nothing. Let's just make it harder for American citizens to live. But see, this is why I got a big kick out of it. Because 45 didn't even know it was a good bill or not. He was running around his office asking people, is it a good bill? He didn't even know. What kind of leader doesn't even know whether or not what he is sponsoring and what he's speaking for is any good? But this is who has been elected. President of the United States of America. He won the Electoral College. No, he did not win the popular vote, but he won the Electoral College. He won it. A guy that has absolutely no idea how to work in Washington. A guy who has no idea on how to build coalitions. He's so bad at building coalitions that he destroyed his own party. His own party is fighting. So you got the Freedom Caucus saying, no, we just want repeal. We don't care if people ever have insurance or affordable health care. We don't care. We just want straight up repeal. And then you got Ryan saying, well, yeah, we want repeal, but the replacement is going to give tax cuts to the wealthiest among us. People, this is the world that we are living in right now. This is the world that we find ourselves existing in, where everyday citizens who are working hard, doing everything they can to keep their head above water, doing everything they can to provide for their families, and the people who are elected to represent them are doing everything they can to make it harder for them. I mean, the funny part is the people that it would hurt the most are the people that supported Trump. When you look at the numbers, when you digest all the charts, when you look at how much money people make and how much income plays a role in how people vote, those who would be hurt the most voted for Trump. Those that would be hurt the least voted for Clinton. The numbers are out there. That's what's hilarious. The very same people who look for Trump to drain the swamp, look for Trump to do something different, are the same very people who are going to be hurt the most. Maybe if he actually studied civics in school and understood how to build a team instead of thinking he's the greatest thing that's ever walked the planet, maybe he would have known that this bill was not going to work. But he didn't even know because he had to ask other people, is this bill any good? Do y'all want to talk about Nunes for a minute? Man, Russia. So at first I was going to stay away from the Russia thing because, it's so crazy. I can't even believe it. I can't even understand how Nunes, he did a Martin Lawrence run tell that type of thing. He ran to the White House. He was summoned. He ran over there. And then he held a press conference and said, I have proof. I have information. Well, who did you get it from, dog? I'm not telling. Well, how do we know it's credible? I'm not telling. I'm not telling who my sources are. I'm not telling. Really? So you are in charge of investigating Donald Trump and his team of campaign people, whether or not it was Russian interference in our election, which we already know there was, is no longer denial. We already know what happened. We know that they were able to hack. The part that really ticks me off about it though? They didn't even just hack and then leak all the information, right? Because I'm sure there's a whole bunch more information they could have leaked. They used our own stupidity against us. They set about destroying Hillary Clinton by putting out all of this propaganda on the internet because they knew that we were gullible. They knew that we didn't have what it took inside of us to get past 140 characters and research for ourselves if whether or not the information was being transmitted was actually true. They know us better than we know ourselves. And Nunes is acting like a scared puppy that if he doesn't comply with 45, that he won't get his seat. Oh no, I can't. I'm scared. The 70-year-old is going to take me out. I love my elderly people, but come on. Unless you are like my sensei, who goes to the gym and does karate, 5 and 6 days out of the week, I'm not really nervous about a 70-year-old. I'm not. And they are scared. I'm not. It's okay. But the Russians have hacked us. We allowed it to happen. We allowed ourselves, and I say we because I'm an American too. I'm on the internet probably more than I should be. I didn't buy into it because a lot of it was kind of silly when they was talking about Hillary and all the things that she was doing. I said, listen, one thing about Hillary, either she is a skilled politician and a fantastic criminal, or she did none of the things that people said she was doing. Because for over 30 years, Republicans have been trying to get information on her and get that information to stick, and nothing has stuck. So either she's good at hiding the bodies, or she never did it in the first place. Either way, it just tells me the Republicans were more scared of her, and Putin was definitely scared of her because she had something that they don't understand. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't afraid. She was not afraid of what these moves were going to bring. So she ready to go. No, I didn't like everything about Hillary. No, of course not. I don't like everything about myself. So I'm not going to like everything about Hillary. But I felt like if I got to go play in a snake pit, I bet a snake with me that can help guide me through that snake pit. And Hillary, what the heck doing? She's been doing it for a long time. But Putin and his boys were able to infiltrate our system, put out their own propaganda that we bought into, got Bernie supporters to not even want to Democrat, got Bernie supporters to not even want to show up to the polls, and now 45 is our president. I don't think y'all hear me. If we are that gullible, what are we gonna do when they really decide to do some other stuff? They haven't done anything yet. Trump is talking about $30 billion for a wall and $30 billion for more, tanks, ships, and airplanes, but he doesn't even understand that cybersecurity is where you need to put your money, ding dong. Why doesn't he know this? Why did he surround himself with a bunch of people who have no idea of what is going on in the 21st century? Next thing you know, they're going to tell us, we need to start trench fighting again like they did in World War I. Everything this administration is doing right now is going backwards. Just this week, 45 rescinded another Obama executive order saying that, hey, coal, we're gonna create more coal jobs. No, we're not. Even the coal industry is saying no. We're not gonna get any more coal jobs. No. Renewable energy is the way to go. Focused on the wrong things. Always focused on the wrong things. So I got a big kick myself out of watching the Republicans implode. Um, they did their bickering, and Democrats were smart in this instance. I'm gonna say Democrats were smart. They stayed out of it. They stayed out of it. And when it all came to a head, and people were marching all over the country saying, "No, don't take my insurance away. No, it's helping me and my family. No, I need this because I have a pre-existing condition. No, my kid is still in college and he's only 24 years old. I need to still have him on my insurance." People rallied. People said, "ACA saved my life. Why are you taking it away from me?" There were some, House members who were not in the Freedom Caucus that were like, "Oh boy," because people showed up at town halls and said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" You have to remember, they branded Obamacare because they thought that, if you give it a black name, Americans won't want it. And actually it worked. In 2010, we lost the House. 2012, we lost more seats in the Senate. We lost more seats in the House. 2014, lost the Senate. Here we are, 2016, we lost the White House. We lost seats. We lost seats in the House and the Senate. So they have complete control, and it worked. It worked initially, scaring people about Obama. Remember when the chick who could see Alaska from her house, and therefore she was a foreign. She knew about foreign affairs because she could see Russia from her Alaska house. Y'all remember that lady and her death panels? How many death panels are there now? It's not happening. We were able to be duped into believing that because they named it Obamacare, that people were going to reject, and they did. But when people started receiving the benefits of it, they were like, "Oh, I don't care what you call it. Call it, keep it." Jessica Henry has asked me, what do I think about a single payer option? I'm going to be real honest. That's what we should have. Because if you have 30 million people enrolled in a single payer option, who controls costs? 30 million. The government can then negotiate prices at a much lower level. But the insurance industry would be cut out, so they don't want that. The pharmaceutical industry sure as heck doesn't want that, because think about it. When they were putting the ACA together, there's a provision in the ACA right now that says the government can't negotiate pharmaceutical prices. And as Americans, we actually pay more for prescription drugs than people outside of our nation, especially for American-made pharmaceuticals. We have to pay more for them than the folks across the pond. So I think a single payer option is the best option. That's what Medicare is. It's a single payer option. Let everybody buy into it. Now, I know people are saying, "Well, I don't want government controlling my insurance." Government, if with a single payer option, you still would be able to select your doctors. The government can't tell you what doctor to go to. And then you hear the stories about the long waits. Think about this for a second. There's a hospital in every county, multiple hospitals in larger counties with larger populations. When hospitals can get the funding they need to operate more smoothly. And when you don't have a means for people to access quality health care through insurance or through Medicare or something of that sort, they are going to go to the emergency room. And when they can't pay that emergency room bill, how do you think that thing is paid? Well, that's why you pay $25 for a Band-Aid. The hospitals have to have money to function. I'm not saying that they don't have to have money to function, but the cost of some of the stuff that you pay for in the hospital doesn't have to be the price that they are. But they're the prices they are because we have, unfortunately, people who can't afford, and there's no mechanism for them to pay. So a single payer option is right up my alley. I'm down with it. I wish we could have done that when Hillary was working on it. It just makes sense. You still get to choose. It's not like you're everybody stuck in the same rate plan. It's the government being able to control the cost. 30 million versus 2 million people. Who's going to win that negotiation? And then people want to say, well, with ACA insurance out. There wasn't one person who wrote ACA or who was from ACA that sat in any of those board meetings that those insurance companies had to decide whether or not they were going to raise their rates. They're raising their rates anyway. They were raising their rates before the ACA. They're raising their rates after the ACA. And that cockamamie plan that Paul Ryan had was really going to raise rates. Insurance companies making 100% profit. They're in control. They've been in control. They've been able to do what they want, when they want, how they want, for as long as they want. So stop pretending like the ACA is the reason why insurance premiums go up. No, I've been in the workforce for over 25 years, and I've had insurance for the bulk of that. And I've watched my insurance premiums go up. And I'm a single well, I'm not single anymore. I'm married now, but excuse me. When I was as a single person with no children, I watched my insurance go up every year. Every year. So it's the insurance companies that decide how much people are going to pay. And then there are insurance companies that wanted to drop out of the market. So expand Medicare. Give that option to people to buy. People just want to be able to take care of themselves. And these guys are making it so difficult for people just to find a way to take care of themselves. This is anti-American, if you ask me. Now, you can sit up there and say if you want that, this is a free market society, free market this, free market that. Some things are not meant to be for profit. This is my opinion. That's why it's called Turn Left, with the host Indiana's own Dana Black. Education is not supposed to be for profit. Healthcare should not be for profit. Neither of those two. And Indiana's voucher program, which is, expanded more rapidly than any other voucher program across the country, they're not even seeing the positive returns on that, right? There was an article that I posted the other day about how Roncalli, which is a Catholic school right here in Marion County, has been receiving more and more voucher dollars annually, but they're not seeing their enrollment increase. What is happening is that people who never actually send their kids to public schools are getting subsidized for sending their kids to private schools. But the whole point of that program was to make sure low-income families who are in bad schools have the money they need to go seek the proper education. Over 55% of the recipients of the voucher program right now make over $90,000. So much for low income. If $90,000 is low income, I'm in deep caca. Come on. So, what they've done is figured out a way to systematically defund public education so that if you don't have any means, then your child will not get an education. Now we're creating even a more divide of the haves and the have-nots. Are we not? If you can't get educated, how can you rise up? How can you pull up your bootstraps if you don't know how to spell bootstrap? Right? Education and healthcare are two things that should not be about for profit. Doctors go into being doctors because they have an innate thing, and nurses and people who work in the healthcare industry, they have this thing inside them that says, I want to help people and I'm going to learn the skills that I need to help people. And that's what they do. And I applaud them because I couldn't do it. But at the same time, they have to make a living. And I get that. I'm not saying, and they got to pay back those student loans. Because I know doctors have like, $150,000, $160,000 student loans. They got to pay those things back. So yes, I understand that they should, be compensated for their efforts. But to suggest that, Americans shouldn't have affordable health insurance so that we can give the wealthiest among us a tax break, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So, I'm glad the healthcare bill kind of fell apart. I get it, really kind of inside, but it's not dead. They're going to keep on resurrecting. There's still, 3.5 more years of this clown and his minions, and Speaker Ryan already saying no, I don't want to work with Democrats. Trump, after he called Chuck Schumer a clown, now he wants to work with him. Yes, he knows how to build relationships. He's so good at that. Not, but that's what's going on. It's life or death out here for your insurance and for your health care and your education. And if we don't take a stand, like I said, I love rallies. Nobody likes to give a speech more than me. I love getting the crowd fired up. I love using my energy to share, why we need to be involved. But I need people to run for office. I need people to win seats so we can change the direction of how our leaders are governing. Even sometimes if they just know that there's a serious race, just like, these guys who were not in the Freedom Caucus, who did not want to take insurance away from their constituents, were saying, wait, these are the people that voted for me. I just can't just go with it. So they had a hard time. So that's what's been going on. I usually don't like to talk about people who report on the news, because I think talking about people reporting on the news is kind of like taking away from the real issues, the Russia thing, the FBI investigation, healthcare, Gorsuch, Supreme Court nomination, those kind of things. But I gotta spend a little time, and please forgive me, I won't do this very often, but I just gotta spend a little time talking about Sean Spicer and Bill O'Reilly. I have no other choice as a Black woman but to talk about the blatant disrespect that Sean Spicer and O'Reilly showed two positive, strong, hardworking sisters over this past week. I know you guys saw on my page, if you follow me on my Facebook page or Twitter, there was yesterday I went nuts with the hashtag Black Women at Work. Normally I wouldn't want to talk about this, but if you get a chance, go read some of the experiences that African American women have had to endure just to survive in this country when we have been systematically discounted, first as women and then second African American women. The fact that Bill O'Reilly said I didn't even hear what she had to say because I was looking at her hair. Or Sean Spicer telling the report, stop shaking your head. I cannot tell you how many times I've had somebody on my job tell me who was my equal, not my superior, but my equal. Tell me we as women, and I'm telling you, I'm stressing this every day. Women, we need to get more. We need to get more involved with my sisters, my African American sisters. We need to get involved too. We need to be as visible in the political scene as everybody else. We need to be visible. I don't want to hear about an event that went down and the call out was for anyone and everyone to come, and we don't show up, whatever the reason is. You may have legitimate reasons. We work, we raise kids, we got a whole lot that we're doing in life. I get it, but we have to find a way to make our voices heard. Otherwise, we will continue to be disrespected like this. I have a group of friends, and I've told you about before, my fam, who are very successful women, and they are doing what they can. They volunteer, not only run their businesses and run their business and raise their kids, but they also volunteer community for organizations like UNCF and NAACP and Sickle Cell and all these other organizations. So they're active. But I need more of you. I need more soldiers. I need more sister soldiers, right? I need more of us to be involved in the game. I need more of us being powerful leaders. We cannot sit in the shadows. We cannot allow other people to dictate what our success is going to be. We cannot allow others to limit our greatness. I'm speaking to you. If you've not read hashtag Black Women at Work, I'm telling you, you are going to be, some of the stuff that you read, you scratch your head. And yes, all the things that I posted yesterday happened to me. They happen to me over the years, not yesterday, but over the years. These are the types of occurrences that I have. I will give advice to my white audience, and I love you guys because you know I'm about everybody. The one thing that will drive us nuts as sisters is if you just arbitrarily think it is okay to put your hands on our hair. Leave it alone. Just don't touch it. Don't even ask. If you're not a hairdresser, if you're not like Zach Adamson, hairdresser extraordinaire, don't go touching our hair. That's my personal space. Do you know our country has a history of violating African American women for no reason at all? How do you think we come with a lot of mulatto kids and mixed kids over the centuries? It wasn't because, it was a willing act of love. It was violation. And that history has followed all the way down from the first boat that got off, that led us off in the South, below the, or Maryland or wherever it was. When the first boat dropped us, as Black women, we have been violated. No more. And I need all my sisters to stand up for my African American sisters. I need my Hispanic sisters. I need my white sisters, my Asian sisters to stand up for Black women. Because we in the fight. We in the fight. I need more though. I need more. I want so many women. Remember they asked the notorious Ruth Ginsburg how many women on the Supreme Court would make her happy? And she said, what was it, 9? She wants all of the Supreme Court to be women. For so long, it's been on men. Why not? Why not have 54, 56, 60, 70% of our legislative body be women? Now, men, I love you. I am not hating. This is not a man-bashing session. Please understand that. We need you to be our allies. We need you to help promote the greatness that we have. Little weak dudes, you know who you are. Just stay home with your mama. Don't go causing no ruckus. I need strong men to back these women. I need strong men to say, I got you, sister. Because they out there. I'm Dominic Dorsey, Bashan, they out there. I know y'all out there. And I love it. But go check out hashtag Black Women at Work. The experiences that we have across the country. It's not relegated to a region. It wasn't relegated to a state. These are women, and it was all levels of professions, from doctors and lawyers and professors and, business leaders. Even me, and IT chick. The stuff that we deal with. We can make America better, but we have to work together to do it. That's why I get up every day. I get up every day and put my clothes on because I know I can be a part of making America a better union. I can tell you about all the problems. We can all sit around and moan and groan about the problems, but what are we going to do to roll our sleeves up and get busy? So as the deputy chair of the state party, I'm recruiting you. I'm recruiting you right now. Jessica Henry, I see you. You talking about you hear me? I'm recruiting you. Monique Carter, I am recruiting you. I am Jessica Ham, I'm recruiting you. Rebecca Crooms, I am recruiting you. Johnny Lyles, I'm recruiting you to be an ally. I'm recruiting people to want to work on and help propel the state party. I'm excited about what is about to happen with the state party and the county party. So I want, again, next week, I'm so excited. Next week, Kate Sweeney Bell, Marion County Recorder, but also Marion County Democrat Chair. I want you guys to listen in, find out what kind of help she needs at the county level. Don't hesitate to sign up to be a precinct committee person, a vice precinct committee person, a ward chair, anything. To knock on doors, stuff envelopes, whatever the case may be. Kate's going to tell us what we need, what she needs. And I'm excited about it. So next week, we're going to have a real live guest. And eventually, I'm going to have more guests talking about different things. I got a few things lined up. I got to do some research, but we're going to bring you guys some information that you can use. Hopefully, put it in your pocket and travel up and down the state with me and recruit people to work for the party. Oh, also, I want to remind you, since Kate and John are coming, if you have questions for them, inbox me, and I'll make sure that, as we go through, obviously I'm gonna throw out duplicates, and I'm not into negativity. So if it's negative, I probably won't read it. If you about positive and you want to know what's going on and you want to ask questions of our county party chair and state party chair, inbox me. Let me know what your question is. I pile those and what conversation with party chairs. That's exciting. I'm really excited. Maybe I can get some of the district chairs to come and visit. That'll be fun. Because then you can see the real people that are making things happen. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you'll be inspired to do something or get involved in some way. We're going to have organizations come on, but man, I'm excited about Kate Sweeney, Bell, and John Zoe. All right, I do believe my time is up on Turn Left. Man, I love chatting with you guys and giving it to you from the way I see it, from the left side of things, because it's all about looking out for my fellow man, looking out for my Hoosier, looking out for my fellow American. If our elected officials are not looking out for the people that elected them, we got a problem and we need to fix it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully with this information I'm giving you guys, it makes you want to look up what that legislation is, get involved with a rally, get involved with a group that's fighting these things. Reach out to your elected officials, call them up. You can go to iga.in.gov for all the state officials. If you're elected officials, or you can Google who are my elected officials, and they'll tell you based on where you live who you need to call. Okay, so write your questions down. This is Turn Left. I'm Indiana's own Dana Black. Thank you very